Hormones and weight loss. What do you need to know? There's a big push right now to talk about hormones and weight loss and how you should be optimizing your hormones to lose more weight. The reality is most hormones play a passive role in weight loss or weight gain. As you gain body fat and weight, your leptin increases, your insulin increases, and some other hormones can be affected. As you lose body fat, your leptin decreases, your insulin decreases. And so those hormones really have a passive role. A lot of people make a big deal about insulin. The reality is there are now over 20 controlled feeding studies where they give varying amounts of carbohydrate and fat, but protein and calories are equated. And these studies were very well controlled. They were either in a metabolic ward or the food was provided to participants and the adherence was very, very high. And they see no differences in weight loss. In fact, they actually see a little bit better fat loss with low-fat diets. It's not really a meaningful difference, but there it is. If insulin was really causing people to not be able to lose weight, even if they're eating in a calorie deficit, then we'd expect for people to lose less weight following low-fat diets compared to low-carb diets, but we just don't see that. That's not what happens. When we discovered leptin back in the mid-90s, they thought it was going to be the cure-all. The name leptin comes from the Greek word leptos, which means thin, because they found that when they knocked the leptin gene out on mice, they became very obese and they could not stop eating. And when they injected these animals with leptin, they went back to normal, consistently injected them with leptin. And so we thought, well, we'll just give people leptin. And what we found was obese people don't have low levels of leptin. They actually have high levels of leptin. It's just they become insensitive to leptin. And leptin and insulin kind of follow each other and mirror each other in that aspect. As you gain more body fat, your insulin goes up, but your insulin sensitivity goes down. Same thing for leptin. As you lose body fat, your insulin sensitivity goes up and your insulin goes down and your leptin goes down, but your leptin sensitivity goes up. Those play much more of a passive role. They're not really affecting weight loss or weight gain. The one thing we do see with leptin is it appears that if you inject leptin regularly, after somebody has lost weight, they are more likely to maintain that weight loss. That does appear to have an effect. Now, when it comes to other hormones, there are some that make a difference. Thyroid is the most obvious. So people with low levels of thyroid, they have reduced energy expenditure, but it's not the massive decrease in energy expenditure that people think. On average, like around 100 to 150 calories a day, which is significant, but that can be fixed through going to see a proper endocrinologist and getting prescribed thyroid hormone. And I think the biggest decrease in basal metabolic rate that I've seen in the literature from low thyroid is like 25%. So if somebody's BMR is like 1200, which that would probably be pretty average for like a lot of like medium-sized people, their BMR might actually be 900 if they're hypothyroid. Now, BMR is just one aspect of your total daily energy expenditure. So this might mean that somebody is, a 1500 calorie a day energy expenditure versus an 1800 calorie a day energy expenditure. It doesn't make weight loss impossible, it just makes it more difficult. And then there are some sex hormones that might have an impact, like estrogen. Seems that if you are low in estrogen and you supplement with it, that it might help by like 100 calories a day or so. There are some studies on that. But for the most part, hormones aren't the big giant weight loss hack that everyone thinks they are. And they tend to play a much more passive role in weight loss and weight gain. And what really makes the difference for weight loss, finding a diet that you can consistently adhere to and doing that. Now, if you're sick of trying to figure all this stuff out yourself, try downloading our app, Carbon Diet Coach. For less than $10 a month, you get customized nutrition recommendations, and they're adjusted every week based on how you respond. And we give you the flexibility to choose the diet that you can best adhere to. And we provide accountability and feedback so that you can continue to make progress throughout your entire journey, whether it's weight loss, muscle gain, maintenance, reverse diet. We can help with all that, and it's less than $10 a month. Click the link in my bio to download and subscribe today.